Lo, by Charles Hoyfort, Part 1, Chapter 15. Oh, if human beings from somewhere else ever have been translated to this earth, there are mysteries at each end and in between. In the story of Cagliostro, he appeared in London and then in Paris, and spoke with an accent that never has been identified with any known language of this earth. If, according to most accounts of him, he was Joseph Balsamo, a Sicilian criminal, who, after a period of extraordinarily successful imposture, was imprisoned in Rome until he died, that is his full life story. The vagueness of everything, and the merging of all things into everything else, so that stories that we, or some of us, have been taking as absolutely proved, turned out to be only history, or merely science. Hosts of persons suppose that the exposure of Cagliostro as an impostor is as firmly, or rationally, established as are the principles of geology, or astronomy, and it is my expression that they may be right about this. Wanted? Well, of course, if we could find data to support our own notions, but anyway, wanted data for at least not accepting the conventionalized story of Cagliostro. See Trowbridge's story of Cagliostro. According to Trowbridge, the identification of Cagliostro was fraudulent. At the time of the necklace affair, the police of Paris, needing a scapegoat, so identified him in order to discredit him. According to Trowbridge, no witness appeared to identify him. There was no evidence, except that handwritings were similar. There was suggestion in the circumstance that Balsamo had an uncle, whose name was Giuseppe Cagliostro. One supposes that a police official, whose labors were made worthwhile by contributions from the doctors of Paris, searched records until he came upon an occurrence of the name Cagliostro in the family of a criminal, and then went on from that finding. Then it was testified that the handwritings of Balsamo and Cagliostro were similar. For almost everybody's belief that of course Cagliostro was identified as Joseph Balsamo, there is no more than this for a base. In February 1928, the New York newspapers told of a graphologist who had refused to identify handwriting, according to the wishes of the side that employed him. According to all other cases that I have ever read of, anybody can get, for any handwriting, any identification that he pays for. If in any court, in any land, any scientific pronouncement should be embarrassing to anybody, that is because he has been too stingy to buy two expert opinions. Cagliostro appeared, and nothing more definite can be said of his origin. He rose and dominated, as somebody from Europe, if transported to a South Sea island, might be expected to capitalize his superiority. He was hounded by the medical wise men, as Mesmer was hounded by them, and as anybody who, today, would interfere with flows of fees, would be hounded by them. Whether in their behalf, or because commonplace endings of all mysteries must be published, we are told, in all conventional accounts, that Cagliostro was an impostor, whose full life story is known, and is without mystery. It is said that, except where women were concerned, where not much can be expected, anyway, Cagliostro had pretty good brains. Yet we are told that, having been identified as an Italian criminal, he went to Italy. There are two accounts of the disappearance of Cagliostro. One is a matter of mere rumors, that he had been seen in Aix-les Bains, that he had been seen in Turin. The other is a definite story that he went to Rome, where, as Joseph Balsamo, he was sent to prison. A few years later, when Napoleon's forces were in Rome, somebody went to the prison and investigated. Cagliostro was not there. Perhaps he had died.